What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today is our competition entry, Audi Quattro. This is a new mod by Lit. There is a link in the description below to go and grab this one yourself. But before we jump into anything, I want to say a huge, massive thank you to the anonymous person who left me a super like. You know who you are. You know what you did. It means so much to me and my family, especially at this time. We are struggling a little bit. So thank you. You will remain anonymous because I don't even know who you are, but you know what you did. So thank you so very much. I really, really do appreciate it. And just before we fully jump in, I know I said I'd be back on Monday. This is obviously not Monday, and this is obviously not the Ribson. It is Wednesday. I am still in quite a lot of pain. I'm off to see the doctor later on today, so we shall see what happens with that. Hopefully we'll get something good going on. But let's jump into this beautiful Audi Quattro new mod by Lit. This is our custom config for the competition over on Discord. Link in the description below to that one as well. This is obviously the last day you can enter today. You got until 10 p.m. this evening. If you're watching it on Wednesday, if you're watching it on Thursday, it has already closed. We will find out who the winner is very, very shortly. Ours is called the VM Rally because, well, this is a rally car, and it was a rally-themed competition, at least that's what I was aiming for, so we'll see how that turns out. There's some cool entries in there already, so go on over and check it out. We got ours from the auction house. It's pretty bad, let's be honest. You saw it at the beginning there. It's looking a bit sorry for itself. Did we get a good deal, though? Absolutely not. I bought it for 86,204 and can currently sell it for 71,144, losing out on 15,060, which isn't the best start. Now, I have kept most of this stock standard-ish, changed the ride height a little bit, changed a little bit of the exhaust just to make it fit in with my build, but we did keep the engine that comes with this one, which is the i4 double overhead cam A4. It's definitely not. It's an i5 double overhead cam ADI engine with 306 factory horsepower. And because this is a rally car, we will definitely be taking this beast onto the gravel track today. Trying to beat that pre-runner if we can, or the Subaru Impreza. I think the Subaru Impreza is more of a closer sort of style to it. So we're aiming to beat the Subaru, but hopefully we'll be able to knock that pre-runner off as well. So that's what we're doing. You've already seen the thumbnail. You've seen my awesome livery. We will talk about that a little bit later on. But let's get this beast into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash. Let's get our Quattro clean and see what we've got going on underneath. Hopefully it doesn't already have my livery on it. It definitely shouldn't. And it doesn't look like it does. Thank you for that. It's very, very rusty, though, apart from that bonus part roof scoop. Obviously, that one is not. The bonus part roof scoop is classed as a hood scoop, so it is attached to the hood. So when you open the hood, it does drop down. So we won't be doing that one too much today. But let's get the interior cleaned. Get this one back on the lift. Start tearing it down. Get ready to get this one all back together and tear up the gravel track. Let's get underneath and check for that oil pan. There is a beast of an oil pan in there, so we need to get that one drained the very first thing. So out you come and down you go. Very dirty oil, but, you know, it is an old rally car, so what do you expect? Let's get underneath then and see what we need to remove. It is obviously four-wheel drive, so we do need to get this front axle out. We are missing the other front axle, the drive shaft out, and the main drive shaft out. So let's just get started with this main drive shaft. And the first rusty bolt, there we go. Out you come there, and the second rusty bolt on the other side as well. Nice and easy. We haven't got wheels to take off, so I'm just going to jump right in and get this front drive axle out. Out you come with your one rusty bolt. And then do we have the starter? We do indeed. With another rusty bolt, out you come. Plenty of rust on this bad boy. Out with that front drive shaft there, and then out with this gearbox. Now, one of the only things I changed on this car, apart from adjusting the position of that front drive axle piece there, is adding this exhaust because it didn't have a connection part to the exhaust. I went for the i4. It fits in really well. Let's just plug into the end of the turbo on there. So we will need to take that one out as well. And do you know what? Let's just grab all of the exhaust while we're here. Out you come. Get this one back down on the ground and see if we can pull that i5 engine out of there without having to do anything else. So let's grab the crane. Over you come. And let's give this a go. Let's see. Out you come. Nice and easy. That is what we like. Now, the i5 is an engine I don't think I've ever actually worked on, so this should be quite interesting. But let's jump into the engine bay. Do we have anything missing from here? No, I can see a lot missing from underneath, but we'll come to that a little bit later on. We do need to get some liquids drained, though. So we've got coolant reservoir, brake servo, power steering reservoir, and the wishy-washy reservoir just there. Right-click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and it'll get it all drained out, ready to be stripped out without spilling any liquid and costing you a little bit of extra money. So now we go. I'm going to get the rest of the engine bay all stripped out, all of the underside strips. When we come back, we'll start working on this beautiful Audi's bodywork before we get it into the paint shop to put on that stunning livery that I've created. But Lit is going to add it to the mod in the next mod update. So you guys will all be able to play with this beautiful livery as well very, very soon. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful Quattro. But let's strip what little of this body's left down, starting with that front end. Off you come. Rally style up there. What are they? Side skirts. Definitely the side skirts need to come off. You can see the body window on there. Trunk window, or rear window, as it were. Go back around. Anything else? I don't think so. We will take this bonus part hood scoop off the top, if I can remember how to do it. There we go. In we go, and just grab that one off of there. Now, have we got everything off of this? Actually, is there any interior? No. Is the rear bench interior, or is that part of it? That's part of the frame. There we go. So have we got everything? Don't want that screen. 1%. I mean, I do want that screen. And that shows there is nothing left on there. So we have got everything. The frame is at 33%, and we bought it for 86,000. This one might sell for a lot. What are we going to go for? I'm going to say 1750. 5,614. I wasn't even close. But there we go. Let's get that all repaired, and let's go check out the body shop for the Quattro. Nice and simple. You got two different styles of spoiler to go on there, and then both the same ones again in a beautiful carbon fiber. You got the normal side skirts with mud flaps, carbon fiber, and carbon fiber with mud flaps, and then the same for the other side on there. 4 different front bumpers, one with the grills, one without the grills, and the same again in carbon fiber. Nice and easy. Front end with the Audi rings, and the rally lights, which we're definitely going with, and a front end without the Audi rings. Then you got doors, normal and carbon fiber. Pretty much everything is got a normal and a carbon fiber counterpart on there. Not sure. Oh, there, the hood difference. This one doesn't have any hood pins. This one's got hood pins. We're going for the hood pins, and pretty much not going to go for any of the carbon fiber on this one today. Looking good, though. A few different headlight options, tinted and not, and then tail light options exactly the same. We're going for this one here. I really just think it suits the build. For the rear bumper, you've got with the reflectors, without the reflectors, without the grey plastic bit, and then the same again, obviously, in carbon fiber. Windows, more doors and mirrors, and then the trunks. You got a normal trunk with the blacked out Audi badges, normal trunk, no badges, carbon fiber trunk with white out Audi badges, and then no badges on the back there, plus a windshield just to finish it off. But there we go. Ours is going back together exactly the same as it came apart, because I've already spent time fine-tuning what I want this one to look like. So let's just get what we can get repaired, replace everything else, and I'll be back in a moment. Let's get this beautiful little Audi all back together then. For the hood, we went with the Quattro Hood B on there, the one with the hood latches, looking good. Obviously, for that front end, we went with the rally-style lights on there. And for the front bumper, we went with the standard one. I just like it the best on there. I think it looks pretty good. For the headlights, we went with the B ones, which are slightly tinted on there. Fenders are just the fenders. Obviously, we went for the normal, and none of this is carbon fiber. In with the windshield, on with the door, and then we've also got the little side skirt just tucked down here. Mirrors are just the mirrors. Obviously, the side skirt we went for is the non-carbon one without the mud flaps. I just didn't think they suited what I was trying to design with this one. In with the windows, in you go and in you go. A rear window on there. Rear bumper is the one just without the reflectors. Obviously, we kept that little grey black strip on there. It looks pretty good. And for the rear tail lights, obviously the tail lights, we went for the C's, which you just can see all the little light colours in there. I think they look the best in my opinion. And the trunk, we kept it with the normal one with the black badges that you definitely can't see at the moment, but you will be able to later. For the spoiler, we went for the bigger spoiler, and it's got like the grated grated vents in there just to control the airflow out the back of the car. Looking pretty good. In with the rest of it. Let's just get it all in. In you go, in you go. On with the side skirts, window, and the mirror on there. If we go back round to the back, we've also got the rear license plate. I've gone for a VM plate with just Quattro written on them. It just looks good. It fits the vehicle. Then we can get in and get this interior in. Now, I have gone for, obviously, you can see them there, the Nismo seats on this one today. Steering wheel 7 as well. And the reason I've gone for the Nismo seats is because I like them the best. I think they look absolutely fantastic. And there is a Nismo sponsor deco on the side of this Audi. And some of you are going to absolutely hate me for that. And I'm not really that bothered. I think it's fantastic. It fitted in with the colour scheme as well. Now, have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100% we have. So let's get this Quattro into the paint shop and get that livery on. Well then, here is my Quattro Audi livery looking fantastic. We've got the 13 on the hood there. Now, these white bits in the hood aren't white. They are clear, so if you painted the car blue, for example, they'd be blue underneath, so on and so forth. Looking good. Then we've got the Audi Quattro on the front there. A little bit of black and red dipping underneath with just the edges minused out where the grill is, looking fantastic. We've obviously got my logo on the side as well. Then we've got the 13s again down the side with the red dot and Car Mechanic Simulator with more Audi Quattro in the stripe there. Then we got Evanor off-road tyres. That's because when you go into the shop to buy the off-road tyres, they are branded as you're buying them from Evanor. So I thought I'd throw that logo in there as well. The Nismo logo fits in with the colour scheme, and also we're using the Nismo seats. And Spraygurt, because I like to use the sponsors from the game. And Spraygurt is the company that provides the spray booth and all the paint for us. At least that's the way I look at it anyway. Looking pretty good on there. We've got some black, grey and red stripes down the side. Black, grey and red stripes on the hood as well. But just black and red going around the outside. But it doesn't carry on around the back. In fact, the back's pretty plain. But we do have Audi Sport down the side there, along with the black Audi Quattro badges on the back. And the same on the other side with the Nismo logo reversed. But the checkered flag bit going off into the distance. Looking absolutely fantastic. I'm incredibly pleased with this one. The seats look beautiful in this sort of shiny red and white with the white piping red all around the outside. And we've also got red and white on the steering wheel as well. Looking absolutely chef's kiss in my opinion. That's what we're going for. I think it looks fantastic. And this is going to be added to the mod itself. So you will all be able to play with this one very soon. In the engine bay is incredibly white, so we're going to mix mostly black and red on that engine, maybe a splash of that grey as well if we're feeling adventurous, but maybe the odd little bit of white here and there just to blend it in. It is looking so good, and I cannot wait to get this one all back together. So let's get this beast back on the lift. Let's get all the parts painted. Let's start reassembly. That's everything painted on the beautiful Quattro, ready to go back together, but I did forget one thing. And that was our bonus little roof scoop. Let's get that one back on. On you go, just in the matte black. Matching in with the rest of that there. Looking nice. Let's get you up in the air. Let's start getting this suspension together. We've got white shocks, red springs, and obviously a white cap on top of them. Looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that. But let's start getting in underneath. We're going to throw a few parts in, and then we'll skip to like a quick clip video. We'll start with the medium intercooler, which is just in a black at the front there, and the large intercooler also in that matte black just at the front there, and then the main suspension cross member in a beautiful matte white. Now I'll crack on, get the rest of it in, show you a few bits, and we'll talk about it again afterwards. Just putting in the last brake caliper now in that lovely matte red, looking absolutely fantastic. So we've got white shocks and red springs down the back. White shocks? No, white caps and holders, red springs. Also with the white shock down the back there. White arm at the top and the side with black arms on either side there. Looking very nice. With that main drive axle also in a white. And the sway bar end link. Sway bar in a white as well. I'm getting lost for words here. There's a dog barking outside. There's also an ice cream van. It is all going on. And then up the front, we've also still got the red brake calipers. We've got a red knuckle, the white cross member, which we've already seen. Both steering rack and the front sway bar in a white with black and white coming just off of it there. And then around to the other side with their black sway bar end link. Looking very nice. But let's jump back down the back. We've just got a couple more pieces to go in before we move on to the engine bay. We've got a lovely white fuel tank with a little red fuel pump just going on there. Looking very good. Now we're going to crack on and get the rest of the engine bay sorted before we go and build that inline 5 beautiful engine. All the suspension are looking good, mostly in red and white with a tiny splash of black in there just to match in with that livery. We haven't actually used any greys today, so there we go. But let's crack on with the engine bay. In with the wishy-washy reservoir, in with the power steering reservoir and the battery just up there. We've got a brake servo, our stage 3 ECU type B in there. And we've got a coolant reservoir over here. And then we've got the air filter base in a black. Obviously the performance air filter in there. And then the cover also in a black on top. Keeping on theme, looking very nice. Fuse box is also in a cheeky little red up there. ABS pumps in a red with the module on top of it just in a black. Sitting on that white firewall, so it looks pretty good. Well, we'll see in a second anyway. And then in with the radiator, which I have done in a red for that one. In that matte red. No fan housing kit on this one. It's just like that. But let's take a look and see how good that all looks in there. Very black at the front. Hopefully when we get that engine in, it'll add a splash more colour. Should I have changed this to red? think it might have been a bit too much if it was red, but there we go. We'll keep it black. But now we need to go and build the i5 engine, an engine I've not done before, so I am definitely looking forward to this. We're going to start straight in at the top. I'm going to throw both the camshafts in. You have a camshaft B and a camshaft A. I definitely should have said that the other way around, but there we go. Then you've got 5 camshaft caps on each side, so 10 in total, and 5 spark plugs to go in there as well. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll see you in a second. That's all of that in, and now we need to crack on. We've got some cam gears to go in here as well. In you go, and in you go, and then a lovely little timing chain just sat on top of that one. Looking very nice. Let's move on to the front, where we've got timing cover C in a red, looking nice on there. Got another cam gear on the outside. We've got the water pump in there as well. Let's get you all bolted up. And then a cheeky belt, which we haven't coloured. We're just leaving that one because it's going to be under a cover, along with an unpainted idle roller as well. Again, because it's going to sit under these 2 covers, which are in that lovely matte red. So let's just get them on you go. Get you all bolted up and ready to go. Then we can throw the crankshaft pulley on, which we kept in a black on the red. It looks quite good. Idle rollers also in a black on there. And then we've got the alternator in like a matte red, looking very nice. And the power steering pump also in a lovely matte red on there. Then we got the lovely serpentine belt, which we have blacked out on that one. Kept it in a matte black. Looking pretty good on there. The belt tension is in a white, just to finish it off. And then we've got that lovely radiator fan at the front, which we have just blacked out. Looking good on there. Moving on up, though, the engine head cover. That one is in a lovely red. In you go. And get all that bolted up. Then we've got the ignition coils. I've just left them as they are, because there is a cover that goes over the top of it. And does look pretty good. And we've done that cover in a lovely white. Looking absolutely beautiful on there. Very, very pleased with that one. We nip around to the side. We've now got the intake manifold, which we've kept in the black. Looking very good. The rest of the sort of metally parts are going to be pretty black on there as well. If we nip on underneath, we've got the water manifold. We haven't kept that one in black. This is in a 2-tone red and white. So you've just got a few little white bits on there, along with the red, looking very, very good. And if we nip around to the other side, we've also got the fuel rail in the same colouring with that red and white. Very, very pleased with that one. Onto the throttle. That is in a red, but it's also got a little splash of white in there as well. Keep the theme going. Absolutely loving that addition with the new quality of life mod update. Fuel filters in a red on there. The oil filter down here also in a cheeky little red, but it comes out black, but with a red rim. Fits in with the build. Really liked how it turned out. Exhaust manifold is in the black. In you go. Always the last bolt I hover the mouse over, but it is what it is. Let's get you all bolted in. And then we've also got the turbocharger on here, which is in a black, but it does have a little bit of red on it just there. And also the propellers are red as well. Looking very good, but they're going to be covered with a bit of exhaust, so never mind. And then the last piece is this beautiful blow-off valve, which is in red with a splash of white on it again. I think that looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. I'm incredibly pleased with this red, white and black i5 engine. So let's get it dropped in our Audi and see how good it looks. Over we go. We've already got the crane there. Get you dropped in. Get the crane put away. And let's have a look. See, that's looking pretty good. I don't think it's too much black at the front there, because you've got all the red and the white sticking up over the top. Looking very, very nice. Pleased with that, but let's get you up in the air. We've still got the gearbox, a drive shaft, and the starter to go in, along with all of that exhaust, which is all in black to match in. It does go in to the propeller on there, as you can see. So we get that piece in first in the black, looking very nice. Gearbox in you go, that's in black. Does have a few little red bits on it as well, just for good measure, keeping on a colour theme. Got the front drive shaft, which we have done in a black on there. We've also got the cheeky starter just behind it in a red. Then the front drive axles are the same as the rears in that lovely white colour. Looking very good on there. Let's get you in and you in. In you go. There we go with that. Then we'll do the drive shaft. If I can click on it. There we go. In a beautiful white. Just to add a bit more colour from the underside. We will check that one out in just a moment. And once we've done that, we can crack on with the exhaust. We've got the middle muffler, matte black, and that rear muffler also in a matte black there. And that should be everything apart from the wheels, which we'll come to in a moment. Let's have a sneaky little walk out the back here. Bit of clipping there with the drive shaft, but never mind. That's because I lowered it so much. Looking quite nice. Bit of red, bit of white, bit of black under there as well. And the exhaust tips sticking out the back in a lovely black. Down on the ground you go. We're going to fill up the liquids. We're going to tint some windows, get some beautiful wheels done for this lovely Audi. Then we'll get this one outside in the sun. Well, here she is then, all finished with Lit's beautiful Audi Sports Quattro with my custom livery on it that Lit is going to add to the file so that whenever you download this mod or whenever this mod's updated for you, you will also get this beautiful livery. Probably you won't want to use it because of that Nismo badge, but it still looks cool nonetheless. I am very, very, very impressed with this one. Absolutely love it. Fantastic job by Lit making the car. And a nice little pat on the back for myself for this livery. I think it looks absolutely great. But let's talk about these rims. I went for the Rim Retro 01. I think it fits this build really, really well. These are a 16-inch rim at the front, 265 width with a 30 profile on there. Looking absolutely fantastic. And yes, you can't see all the things I've coloured underneath, but the wheels suit the car so well, I could not do it. It's down at the back, almost the same size. Still a 16-inch rim, but it's 275 width there with a 30 profile on it still. Looking absolutely fantastic. And one thing I do want to show you is the reason this Evernoir off-road tyres logo that I've sort of slightly customised a little bit is on there. Is because if you go to the tyre shop, you can see the two off-road tyres both have that Evernoir logo as parts, along with some other ones as well. So we got all our tyres from Evernoir, which is why that brand sponsor is in there. Fantastic. Let's get inside and check out this interior. The rear bench is a part of the bodywork, so you can't do anything with that. Not that it matters. I would have liked to just swapped it out and thrown a roll cage in there or something like that, but we couldn't quite get that done. But these front Nismo seats, hence the Nismo sponsor, are looking incredible in this red and white, and we've also got red and white on that steering wheel as well. The rest of the interior all looks absolutely fantastic, even with that beautiful Lit badge right in the center of the dashboard there. Looking absolutely fantastic. But let's get this turbocharged i5 engine started and see what she sounds like. Nice little tick over there. Let's give it some gas. Oh, that's actually sounding quite mean at the top end. Quite liking that one. Can't wait to get this onto the gravel track and see what it can do. But first off, we need to get this onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is going to be and what its drag rating is. Here she is then on the dyno, the VM Rally Audi Sport Quattro with that turbo i5 engine. 306 factory horsepower. How much have we added to this one today with the performance parts and that little bit of tuning? Let's have a look. A gain of 240 horsepower, 79% gained. Not bad at all from that little i5, bringing us up to 545 horsepower. Will it be enough to take the top spot on that gravel track? We will find out in a little while. The drag rating on this one, as it is, bearing in mind I've only added one extra exhaust part, so that's not really going to add much power, even with the performance parts added there. So that'll be relatively similar to what you can get with the standard Audi Sport Quattro. But there we go. Let's have a look at the gearbox tuning setup for today as we go over. There she is. I've gone for a 4.11 ratio, which is slightly higher than it comes standard. But fiddled around with these a little bit. 55 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to a recorded 234 kilometers an hour in fifth gear. We're on the gravel track. Don't think we'll be quite getting up that high anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much. But how fast we'll be able to get this one to go around. Our goal today is to attempt to beat that pre-runner with a 1:42.218 for the standing lap and a 1:42.033 for the flying lap. We did mess up on that flying lap, but at the very least I want to beat the Subaru Impreza, which is a 1:46.293 standing and a 1:42.242 for that wonderful flying lap. The ECU is fully tuned and ready to go. This has obviously got no carburetors, so let's just get on with it. Let's get over to the track and see what the beautiful Quattro can do. Here we are with the VM Rally Audi Sport Quattro on the gravel track, trying to knock that pre-runner off the top spot. We need to do the flying lap in a 1:42.033 to do that, but I will be happy with the top three. We're just using the keyboard today, not the controller. It's just a little bit too squirmy with the controller for me. But let's get going in just a second. We are going to do a standing lap, then a flying lap. Sorry, I don't have to my throat there. Standing lap and then a flying lap. We won't see much of the standing lap, but you will see all of the flying lap. We'll only show you bits from the standing lap when we make mistakes or make a beautiful corner. So let's get going with this beautiful Audi. Let's get it going as we go off the line and head up towards the first left-hand turn in this beautiful little car. It's slightly uphill, but I do think we're going to have to brake slightly just to get this car to swing around. There we go. Ooh, a little bit wide there as we go straight into the left-hander. Oh, a little bit wide there, and we've stopped, but never mind. We're going to carry on. That was an absolutely awful corner, so you will see that one. Now, I can't really see what's going on around here. Oh, we've gone wide. We've just about recovered those, so that wasn't too bad. That is one corner I do always mess up on. A break for this final corner here. Make sure we squeeze it all the way around as we head down the sort of straight bit across the start-finish line. Not too bad at all. Back up towards the first corner, slamming on the brakes to make sure we can pull this beastly little car around. Doing pretty well so far. Oh, a little bit wide there. 143.698 for that standing lap. Now, that isn't the best we've ever done, but it's still pretty good. Slamming on the brakes, getting us around this left-hander as we go into the wiggly section before the jump. Hopefully, we can make the jump nice this time around as well. There we go. Just about. Again, letting off the acceleration and braking as we go up the hill, just so we don't overshoot that corner there. A little bit of braking there. Just felt right as we go around to finish the rest of this right-hander. Maybe a little bit too powerful. Straight into the wide left-hander. Slowing down a little bit to make sure we pull around that corner there. And then we pull up the hill and around to the right. Just coming off the gas a little bit. Following it all the way around. At the top of the crest, it immediately goes left. You're going to want to brake a little bit before that to make sure you can get around the corner as we go into the tighter section, where you really don't want to hit the sides because you can flip the car, as I almost did in the first lap. As we get around, a little bit more braking there. Let's get this car all the way around as we head into the forest section. The hardest section, in my opinion, because you can't see some of the bollards that are lining the track, although we did make the corner a lot better than we did in the first lap. Pulling back around to the right, and then we need to look out for the marker right next to a tree. This one here to get around to the left there. And then a little bit more to the left before we hit that final corner, which we do want to brake a little bit for. Make sure we get around as we head across the start-finish line. What sort of time have we got? I do believe, as I come this car to a stop, that is a 141.676 for the flying lap, pitting this beautiful Audi Quattro in first place and knocking that pre-runner off. Although we did make a couple of mistakes for the pre-runner. Probably should have been a little bit better, but we made a couple of mistakes with the Quattro as well. So it does kind of all balance out in the end. We managed a 143.698 for that standing lap and a 141.676 for the flying lap, pitting the Quattro in the top spot of the gravel track lap times board. Let's get this one back to the garage, get it on the board, and see if we can sell on this beautiful Audi for some tasty little profit. Although we're not going to sell it because it's my own creation. It'll be going across the line at the front of the shop. Well, there we have it. It's now official. It's on the board. Lit's Audi Quattro mod, with a little few tweaks by myself, is now top of the gravel track lap times board with a stunning 141.676 on that flying lap, taking the top spot from that GMC pre-runner. Still looks pretty good down there. Obviously knocking the Subaru down into third. And we did knock the Mercedes-Benz 4x4 G-Wagon off the board. Didn't have the best standing lap. Obviously, it was actually pretty good in comparison to its other times. Still slightly slower than the pre-runner, but we did make some mistakes with the pre-runner, but we did make some mistakes with the Quattro as well. I'm just happy to see it in the top spot. Excellent work by Lit making this mod. Link in the description below to grab this one. As far as customization, I didn't add any extra parts to the engine. I did add one exhaust part, just connecting the exhaust from the engine to the exhaust on the underside of the car. So what, like a 2% power increase from the standard model. So really not that much. You could get these sort of times with this car yourself, just by adding in the performance parts, giving that gearbox a little bit of a tune and sorting out that ECU. But there we go. It's in the top spot. We're not going to sell this one today, so let's get back outside and see if we could sell it on for profit, although we are definitely keeping it. Here we are then, finished with the beautiful Audi Quattro, looking absolutely stunning and taking the top spot on the gravel lap times board. But let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $86,204 and could have sold it at a loss of $15,060 at the beginning, but we obviously didn't do that. We spent a further $61,726 upgrading, modifying, tuning and painting this beautiful Quattro to how you see it here today, pitting our total spend at $147,930. But the real question is, would we be able to make some money? Let's get in. Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% finished, looking absolutely fantastic. And that engine ramped up from 306 horsepower to 545 horsepower, a gain of 79%, which we're quite happy with, and we're very happy with because we managed to get it to the top spot on that gravel track lap times board. What should we do on the gravel track next? Do let me know in the comments, but it might not be for just a little while. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's get on though. We spent $147,930. Would we make money? Yes, yes. With a sale price of 540,812, we are certainly going to make some money when we come to sell this car at some point, but we're not going to be selling it anytime soon. But the profit will be 392,882 from this beautiful Audi Quattro. It is absolutely stunning. I love it. I do love the livery. Link in the description below to grab this mod yourself. Excellent work by Lit. And this livery will be available with the mod when you download it, coming soon in the very near future. The next update, I do believe Lit is on holiday at the moment, so it might not be for a little while, but I'm sure when he gets back, he will add it to that for you guys. So you'll all be able to play with this beautiful livery, especially that Nismo badge that I'm sure every one of you is going to absolutely love. But there we go. We could sell it on for a profit. Obviously, we're not going to. We will be moving it into the parking. It's probably going to take the place of the Emden Jaeger just there. As much as I'm pleased with that one, this one will be taking its spot. Now, you probably noticed there is nothing on the trailer. That is because I am still ludicrously unwell, in a lot of pain, so I won't be making Friday's video, but I will be back next week with some very, very special stuff going on for the next couple of weeks. So look forward to that one. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, definitely hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video as far and wide as you can. Most importantly, though, leave me a comment. What would you like to see us on the gravel track the next time we're on the gravel track? Would you want to see us around the racetrack next time we're around the racetrack? I think in the near future, we're going to be doing a few things on the drag strip for a little while. See if we can do them. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.